All right. YouTube's telling me I'm live, so I must be live. I must be another swelter here in New York City. Well, let's see. I'm going through the GM side, so I will. Hold on, let me just finish what I'm doing here, and then we can go back. It's gonna keep doing that to me. We can. I'll go back and give a rundown of because I'm on the GM page now. So I just need to get something else. That's a bonus. But let me just get that. Let me just get this. Okay. All right. So now I have that placeholder. I can go back up. Let's zoom out here. Oh, look at all this madness. So let's see. Yesterday I think I'd pretty much gotten all the gear down, but I didn't have these reagents down, which I want to do. So I don't want to have prices. I was thinking about how to do this, how I wanted to do it. One thing, I don't want to have prices. They're not a magic shop. You can't go buy them. Find them, maybe make a deal. Not that they can't necessarily be bought, but not bought in a shop. You might need to find an herbologist or a forager or some mad hermit living in a swamp. That's where you're going to get the stuff, if you don't get it yourself. But I don't want to have at least some kind of list and some idea of sort of what they're known, what their kind of known effects or what they're known to be part of. So I got this nice list. Belladonna, something, and I just looked these up in various things. Destroying Angel, Devil's Urn, Fly Agaric, Dead Man's Fingers, Henbane, Lion's Foot, Mandrake, Mugwort, Oak Moss, Reindeer Moss, something called Rue, Sphagnum, I guess it's pronounced, Moss, Vervain, Witch's Butter, Fungus, and Wolf's Bane. There's the list. And I went through and kind of gave them some stuff. I also went and made some kits, so you can get some quick and easy kits. Nothing special, nothing crazy. I did come up. I had this idea has been bubbling around my brain, and I finally decided to put it down. Something called a keepsake. I've thought of various names, but I think a keepsake is a good one. And I just define it down here. It's a small personal object of emotional value. It can be sacrificed to stave off death or produce 4 doom dice. So it's something you have with you. A lucky rabbit's foot, a little painted picture of your mom. Whatever. A lock of hair from your love. Right, but you have it. It's kind of there for you, and if you want, you can sacrifice it to get some dice, or stave off death. Basically, keep you from dying. And I think at some point you can come up with a mechanism to maybe gain another one. So you lose that one, which is kind of this. I don't know, depending on how you want to play it. This is so compressed. Not trying to get into kind of what it could mean, but the idea is it could mean something, and to the player, if they're role playing a character, that can be a meaningful moment, and then maybe you can come up with a way to get a new one when another meaningful moment comes around. So that's basically it. And I just wrote up a little bit about battles and breathers, so I kind of got everything down there. So this first sheet and that sheet, there are the players side. So now I'm on the referees side, and I'm just kind of running through kind of general. I'm not sure, so on running challenges, I'm just kind of running through some stuff. Basically, most challenges should be mundane, i.e. you just need 1 success, 1 boon to succeed. Try to be generous with allowing bonus dice. You don't need to, let people have fun. Let people get dice. It's not a big deal. Don't. Obviously, if you want to run things with a certain tone, whatever. But other than that, just let people have some extra dice. It's fun. It's nothing crazy is gonna happen. Use bargains and banes. Really put banes into motion. If you have something happens, and it triggers some banes, and have fun with that. And then use bargains to try to get things. Oh, like this is too hard. We can't do it. Oh well, you can do it, but you're gonna unleash some banes. Like great, do that. And now I'm just doing, I'd already done the kind of battle stuff, which is basically roll for morale, what to do with area effects, because my system's a little bit differently, so we got to look at that. And then kind of poisons and other special effects. Basically, in this system, if something hits you and it's a poison attack, it doesn't do damage and the poison. It will either do damage or the poison. Strain, right? So it's kind of like, which I kind of like. It's this like idea of like, oh, you're trying to fight off the poison, you're taking strain, but the poison's not getting it. But the poison can't also be strain. So I think on the one hand, it kind of frees you up in a sense to give some different things. Like maybe the poison makes you blind, or maybe the poison makes you do something, or maybe the poison makes you run away. Whatever it is. Maybe the poison turns you red, makes you glow like a little star in the night. Whatever it is, like go explore those, have fun with those effects. And of course, the idea is that if you're trying to fight it, then maybe you don't take the effects, but then you take the strain. Right? And if you take the effect, then you don't get the strain, but then you're affected. So that's kind of that stuff. And so I'm basically just putting in now, which is from the bit that I wrote. So I'm pulling from my own stuff. I'd done this kind of what do I call it? 2-axis reaction. So I'm basically just adapting that. I'm just putting that in here because why not? I wrote it. I believe in it. So I'm using it. And it's essentially you choose these two instead of rolling one 2d6 thing. You take one from each column. So we got angry, so afraid, sad, and then over here we've got I wonder if apathetic should be somewhere else. Maybe, I think I remember thinking I didn't love that one, so I'm going to change it to desperate. Repetitive. Let's see. Prudent. Passionate. Mystic. Satisfied. Okay. For each column. Ugh. Come on. Ugh. Did it to me again. Let's see. It thinks it's strong, but it's not strong. It's not. What? What are you doing? What? Oh, I see. It's the initial words. Oh, you know what? I get it. I do that. There we go. Combine the results for the creatures. I wonder if I need to. Do I need to? I think for this. Okay, I'm just going to spell it out. Yeah, I think that meant to be encounter. I'm spelling it out a little bit more than I might otherwise because I want to make sure that they understand. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do 2 like that. Go. Save. How's this look? Cool. I still got, look at that. I still got room in my first column. I got 2 more columns. Like I do something for monsters and then maybe, I don't know if I need, hey, Croco. I don't know if I need, how much wilderness-y stuff. Well, I have another side. So I actually have 2 sides of this. I think I'm going to need to, Oh, what am I going to need to do? I think I'm going to need for magic, but do I need to have that on its own thing, or can I? Let me see. Let me see how much I can get on magic. Yeah, so if battle is pretty straightforward. Basically, it's just a challenge like any other challenge, but you're just trading strain back and forth. And whoever kind of, whoever wins, wins. And I have a thing about rolling morale, and I have a thing for area effects. I think I'm okay there. I got some stuff just on challenges generally. Okay, so for magic, yeah. Okay, I need a, yep, I need that one. Setting, oops, magnitude. So magnitudes are what we're calling how, add one for each change in the scale, either of effect or range or target type. For example, individual. I want to use that arrow sign. I'll get that in a minute. I'll just put 2 small radius, 2 large radius. Or touch to close range to near range, etc. Okay. Where are those little arrows I had? They're not there. They're going to be... I know. Here we go. Bloop. I don't actually think it... Yeah, I don't think it doesn't save any space, unfortunately. Oh, wait. Large radius or touch to close range. I don't think I need to keep adding range in there. I think I can do it there. Individual to small radius to large. I think the radius in that case, though, actually is. All right, add 1 for each change in scale, either effect, effect, or range, or target type. Or another factor. Okay, what else? I think maybe that's it. Sympathetic components. Sympathetic components. These are these things that connect what you're doing. Components are sympathetic if they relate to the spell either literally or symbolically. Let's see. Okay, sympathetic components. Components sympathetic. Okay, yeah. If components, I guess I'll just do that. Relate to the spell either literally spell to the spell to the spell effect or target, literally or symbolically. Add plus. I'll just leave that there. Add die per component can be sacrificed to reduce strain. Oh, I think I have another battle thing I forgot to put. I think I got another battle thing. Oh, that's fine. I'm going to do one component and I can get rid of per component. Okay. All right. So sympathetic component relate to the spell effect or target, literally or symbolically. Add a die can be sacrificed to reduce strength by 1. Setting magnitude. I think I'll just do. I don't need the S. I'll make this +1. Save a little space for each. I guess increase in scale. Effect. Range. Putting a lot of ors here. I didn't realize I'd multiplied my ors. +1 for each increase in scale, effect, range, target type, or another factor. For example, examples. I don't need 4. Examples: individual to small radius, large radius, or touch to close range to near, etc. All right, that's fine. Oh yeah, I had something for battle, or maybe I'll do for. Yeah, where should I put it? Ooh, okay, so I don't have that much space left. Yes, okay. Armor can be sacrificed to double DR for a single exchange. Sacrificed armor is destroyed. Did I call it DR? I thought I did. Let's make sure. Oh, DV. Excuse me. I was thinking yeah. Maybe I should change it to DR. DV's fine. I can change it later. All right. I need to do something for monsters, I think. So I've been looking at kind of how things like lasers and feelings laid out, and 1400. Just to kind of get an idea. So 1400 gives some history and stuff. I think in terms of, I guess that could be helpful. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of an extra thing. If I have room, maybe that would be the third page. I don't think, let's see, do they give much in the way of monsters? I don't think they do. They have locations, NPCs. Oh, they do. But they don't tell anything about them. It's just something. What do they say? So if you're fighting something, how does that work? All right, let's see. So 1400, I'm looking at 1400 Quest. 1400 Quest says injuries hinder and heal with timer 8. Okay, defense, advancement, load. I guess you just always just roll on the D6. All right, so they don't really, it seems like they don't necessarily have like a combat phase. So I'm not sure if monsters are all supposed to be the same power level, or you're just supposed to figure it out yourself. Or, determine, not necessarily like random, but just what's the context. Maybe I'll have to check out, see if there's any play reports. I'm just curious how that would work. But all right, I'm gonna give more. I want to give more guidance than that, but um, you know, I don't know. Do I have anything else? Battle. Oh yeah, I do. Well, I have wilderness stuff. Do I want to do monsters at the end? Ooh. I guess I should do. Should I do wilderness and dungeon crawling now? I guess so. Yeah. See, no style. Let me just. Guess for right now, I'm just gonna zoom it down all the way to the bottom. I don't know if I'll need all that, but I'll just put it there anyway. And let's make need another header. Entering. So I talk about actions and kind of what they need up here. I have this adventure thing. Actions take turns. I think so. What do I need here? What do I need to say here? Rest. Characters need to rest at least 6 hours out of every 20 every day. They okay, characters need to rest at least 6 hours out of every day, or they suffer one strain that cannot be healed. I guess maybe I should call it so I have a breather. Gosh, I don't know if I want to call it a long rest, but whatever. Until a successful long rest. You're right, Croco. Sleep is indeed important. I mean, I love my sleep. I love my sleep. All right, characters need to rest at least 6 hours of every day, or they suffer one strain that cannot be healed until a successful long rest. All right. Is there anything else? What's the kind of general thing? All right, I'm just going to start adding stuff, and then I can always come back into more. So wilderness. Let's see. Travel. Characters. Yeah, see, this is where I'm wondering. So I have all these, I have all these hex crawling things, but I don't really have the space to get into it too much. So should I just? I guess I'll just make my. I guess I'm just going to make my assumptions, right? And then we'll just go for it. Okay. How do I want to write this up? Who is blooping me? All right. Travel, characters. How does BX write it up? How do they, let's see, what does Moldave say? Or would it be, at that point, is it Moldave or is it Cook and Mash? I guess it's Cook and Marsh, right? Adventures. Let's see. What's it say? Oh, they don't really talk about. They're still using basically. Okay, I'm going to use Hexed, right? So we're going to use. All right, so let's see. Actually, that's not right. Let me do this. Ooh. What do we call it? Units of space? Units of the hell would I what am I gonna call it? Well, I just say hexes, right? Distances are measured in hexes. I guess I'll say distances. That's probably I just answered my own question. Measured in hexes. Base hex is 3. I'm going to use league. 1 league, I would say 3 miles across. Travel, characters on foot. Move across gentle terrain at, let's see, what are you saying here? 1 league per hour. A good road will plus 1 league if on a good road. So that would be 3 or 4 hours. That's 12 miles. Potentially 24 if on a road. On a good road. Difficult terrain. No, wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. 1 league per. Not 1 league per. Sorry, that's. I'm just trying to think here. Okay, so if you're on plains, you're traveling across 1 hex. That's 3. It's 1 league. That's 3. Yeah, you're basically doing 3 miles an hour, which I think is pretty good. Maybe a little bit faster than I tend to think of it when you have a pack and everything, but I'm fine with it if it makes it easy. Difficult terrain reduces speed to 1 league per 2 hours. What's the word? What's the other terrain? Let's see, difficult or. I had another. There's one more. Actually, I'm going to put road. I'm going to put road stuff at the end. So I'm just going to clip that for right now. Okay, travel characters on foot can move across jumps terrain. More difficult. +1 on a good road. E2 1 league per 2 hours, plus 1 league if on a good road. Gentle, difficult. I had another word. Do I have to look up my other document? I probably do. Okay, let me see if I can't find it. Go in there. Oh, extreme. Yep. I'm not sure if my numbers are quite. Make sure my numbers are kind of in line with what I have. Oh no. So okay. So yeah. So yeah. League per turn. Yeah, I think I was. I'm pulling my numbers back a little bit. I'm going to keep them in line. Okay, train. See characters on foot. Okay. Da, 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 da. All right. Mounts. Mounted. Plus 1 league for first turn. Then oh man. All right. We got that. League per turn. Am I getting all the returns? Okay. So let's do hunting and foraging. Hunting and foraging. All right. Right. This is where the bounders, right? Survivalists of the wilderness. I suppose I put camping in there. Foraging and camping. Minimum of 1 turn. Roll. All right. Okay. Take a minimum of 1 turn. Let's see. I'm trying to get a look at my language I'm using. Face a challenge. The scarcity of the terrain. Okay. Wilderness. Does hunting, foraging, camping take a minimum 1 turn? Challenge the scarcity of the terrain. I'll have to come back to it. Fruits moves increase returns or benefits. All right. That covers it pretty well. Businesses, travel, hunting, foraging, camping. Do I need something for searching? I guess. Searching. Within a hex. Let's see. I don't think I have. Let me take that out because I have that in the other section. Challenge the turbidity of the terrain. And the, what's the word I'm looking for? And the shoot. How, like, basically how hidden the thing is that you're looking for is going to determine what you need. But how does that work? Okay, so hunting, foraging, camping, right? You challenge, right? We're searching if there's something hidden, and the, what's the word? The, not reclusiveness, the hiddenness, and the, what there? I know there's I'm not sure there's a word. If it's secludedness. I don't think does that work for this? Okay. Secluded, hidden, isolated, remote. Screen or hidden from you, living in seclusion. Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess that is. Cambridge. What do they say? Quiet, private. Yeah. But is there a secluse? Ooh, wait a minute. Is there seclusiveness? Secludedness? Does that work? Okay. Or what about seclusiveness? Okay. So yeah, I'll use seclusiveness. Boy, it sounds like a real mouthful, but all right. inclusiveness of the search goal. All right. Turbidity. Yeah. May be obvious. Oh, well, I need, let's see. Obvious. Between obvious and hidden, what do we got? Obvious. Shoot. What is a good word for that? Unhidden. Adjective means subtle. Subtle? No. I need something more. Subtle's not good. Oh, no. Inconspicuous. Actually, that works. Inconspicuous. Doesn't stand out. Inconspicuous. Very good. Very good. Obviously hidden. Rocco says, yeah, that one might work too. It is obviously hidden. I'm trying to think. I mean, this can be amended and stuff, but I don't know. Does it require distances, right? Travel, okay. Hunting, searching. I think I'm going to go with that, and I can move on to the dungeon. I don't know that there's that much in the dungeon. It's really hard to know. It's kind of that I think I'm maybe a little bit, I don't want to say stuck, but I'm in this kind of place where a place in which, I guess, a figurative place where I am, but really a state in which I'm kind of, I guess in a sense, I'm sort of hedging, or I'm not super sure who the audience is. I imagine something like this, the audience is, I guess I picture in my mind the audience being of GMs who at least have run other games. I can't imagine handing this to someone who's never played a role-playing game in their life and expecting them. I feel like it would look like they're like some kind of tablet with some kind of incomprehensible runes on it or something, like just handing them hieroglyphics and saying, here, go. So I feel okay being short, but I tend to want to explain what's going on a bit. And at least what the kind of, I guess, basis, maybe a little bit of the base assumptions and how things are. But of course, I also think just play with it. Just, run with it. And that's kind of when you have these, like, I'll have a longer set of rules that will be more hold your hand, a little bit more guided. And this, I'm just trying to say, like, here's just your, do these things. All right, so light candle, a lit candle lasts for 6 turns and Illuminates close range. Lanterns last for... lanterns last a long time. I forget how much do the lanterns last again? I think lanterns last a ways. What does it say for lanterns? Spells. Let's get into adventuring. What are we doing here? Let's see. Doors, retainers, lights. Here we go. 24 turns. Yeah. Okay. All right. Lit candle lasts for 6 turns and illuminates. Is there anything? What else? And dungeon. That's it. Light. Yay! Let's see. Let's see. Do I give... Okay, here's another question. I guess I must, since potentially they could be playing this without an adventure, or they might be running an adventure, so I can't count on them having something else. So I'm going to say for light, doors, wandering monsters, 1 and 6. Wandering monsters are monsters run up the dungeon. Yeah, wandering monsters. Okay. Oh, so they put it. They don't actually give the numbers in the. That's interesting. That's kind of an interesting thing. So they tell you that wandering monsters exist on the player side, but they also tell you that you don't get to hear about. You don't get to read more about it. That's how often they come. That's GM knowledge, which is interesting. Which I kind of like. It makes sense. Okay, wandering creatures. Use the wandering creatures table. I got you. What frequency are we talking about here? All right, what does it say? Because I'm forgetting. Is it once every 4 turns? Once every 2 turns? Was it every other turn? Wandering monsters may be determined at random or selected by GM. The wandering monster. Okay, that's fine. Wandering monsters are encountered more often. All right. Well, where is it? Stock the dungeon. All right. Okay, so we got this stuff. Most wandering. Okay, yeah. The number. All right, but how often are we rolling? That's what I can't remember. You're not helping me at the moment. I can't remember off the top of my head, and you. I want to say it's once every. I think it's every other turn. There it is. Okay, wander at the end of every 2 turns. Yeah, all right. I had that right, kind of. Wandering creatures. Unless... I know, I was working on... See, there are all these things I was working on, and then I'm like, should I bring them in? Is it ready? Because I had an idea for doing kind of a non-overloaded monster die, but you get to roll every turn. But I don't know if I ever totally fleshed it out by satisfaction. It's probably not. I don't think I ever wrote it up. Yeah, I don't think. Okay. Yeah, I don't. It's not ready yet. I have to look it up. It's not. It's not ripe yet. Okay. Wandering creatures. Roll. roll a d6. At every second turn, or whenever a commotion is made, such as forcing open a door or engaging in battle. Oh, is there any other note about that? One of creatures roll d6 at the end of every second turn, or whenever a commotion is made, such as forcing open a door or engaging in battle. I don't think so. I'd love to be able to get it onto one line, though. At the end of the second turn, or after a commotion. I don't need to make is made. All right, there we go. Okay, light, wandering creatures. Bum 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 bum. I'm sure there's other things I should be mentioning, but I cannot at the moment think of what they could be. But again, I'm thinking of it being, this is the thing. It's like I think it's hard. At least I find it hard to not look at it like, because of, if I forget to put on this list and it comes up in the game, I most likely have got it covered because I've done this stuff before, playing it and running it. And here, remember, I was saying before, this kind of, who am I writing it for? I feel like at this point, I'm writing it for more experienced people who might be like me. But even then, maybe they're not coming at it from a D&D perspective. I don't know. I get torn with how much information is enough. What is the minimum viable bit of information? I mean, I kind of have a lot going on here. Certainly not on the player side. And the GM obviously should be familiarized with the player stuff, too. They shouldn't just toss those pages off and then just flip here and think. But, okay, so I've got stuff on battle, I got some on encounters, I got some challenges, I got some on adventuring, like wilderness, right, dungeon, I had stuff on battle, right, refuse guide, adventuring, wilderness, dungeon. Did I put some of the stuff, I might need to, reorganize some of these things, because I feel like maybe adventuring, I think I want to put in, I had some optional stuff, so maybe I'll put them there. Yeah, let's, at least for the moment. Optional rules. So this is what I was kind of steal this a bit from Wolves Upon the Coast. I like their because at the moment, and this is true of the kind of the troop of the that like the man, not man versus man, that kind of troop combat in Chainmail, which was kind of the inspiration for what I'm doing. There's there's very little difference between weapons, and I don't want to have different weapon numbers, but I could look and see if some of these wolf style options make sense. And let's see. So let's bring this over here. So the battle axe, like some of these are pretty good, right? The battle axe, pretty good. I don't know if I love all of them, but I feel like maybe I'll put that. You know what? That'll go in a separate doc. I feel like I could have another or its own page actually. So we're gonna skip that for right now. I like that idea, and I want to do something, but I don't want to try to shoehorn it in here. I could put that as an. All right, so we got adventuring. Yeah, I think I want to read. Let's just go ahead and reorganize some of this now. So first we'll bring. Actually, what we're gonna do is, probably gonna bring these here. So here we have encounters, which makes much more sense being after dungeons and whatnot. Oh, but you know what? Does it? Whoops. So this does not. Does this work? Wait, really? All right, let me see about the. Because the table, I have the baseline grid on. That's why things kind of get funky. Yeah, funky, get funky. Yeah, I thought that was called alt row. Is what I would want to call it. Okay, so that's like that. Okay. Wow, that actually works. So now we've got. Oh, and I had an extra return here I didn't need. Oops. Zoop. Okay. That all fits. And then I've got battle, magic. Yeah, I like that better. So we go from running challenges to adventuring, wilderness, dungeon, encounters, battle, magic. Yeah. So what I need now is I need a bit on monsters. So here's my to-do list, because I guess as I'm getting this shut down. So right now, look at that. I mean, it's obviously zoomed out, but you can see there's a lot going on. So we got this page done, at least, for the moment, done. I need, I think my to-do list is monsters. I need either a list of monsters. I think more kind of how to create some monsters with a couple of examples, and then maybe some charts, and then maybe some options. Maybe. We'll just. All right. Like I said, I would like to do something with that. So maybe I'll Options, setting 2. All right, let me copy paste that stuff. I'm gonna have to. I don't think it'll actually work. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out. I like the idea that stunning with a club. I also want to have some things like versatile, but also inconspicuous. Because some things, like an axe, dagger, I guess would be inconspicuous. In other words, you can have it around you and nobody's gonna look at you funny. If you're in the banquet hall and you have a dagger, that's kind of that's your knife. It's like your knife fork, right? It's your sort of Swiss Army thing. It's totally fine. You walk in with a halberd and you're not a guard or something, people are going to look at you funny. And of course, your rank would be same thing. Like you're walking around the village with an axe. No one's going to look at you. It's like, oh, a hand axe. Everybody's got a hand axe, right? If you're coming through with your battle axe, well, you might set people. People might be thinking, differently of you. I mean, of course, it's going to be very dependent on campaign, whatever. But I like that idea. I remember I made my players at one point when they wanted to go interview some people, and they were trying to do it just all armored up, like they were come up like a posse or a SWAT team or some kind of marauders was what they looked like, and people weren't talking to them. And I'm like, yeah, because you're armored to the hilt and you're weaponized and you're coming to their door. Like, yeah, of course they're freaking out. Like, what does it look like to them? Right. So it's like, okay, well, we need to come back and it's a way to make people think about that. Hey, your armor's not your clothes, kind of thing. Your weapons are not, they shouldn't be glued to you at all times. You might need to take them off, which yes makes you vulnerable, but it also means you might be able to get in places or people want to look at you differently than if you're running around armed and armored all the time. Anyhow, folks, good progress is being made. Super happy about that. I'm closing in on version 1, which makes me feel good, ooey gooey inside. All right, so I'm gonna drop here. Have a great rest of your day, night, whenever you end up watching or listening to this. Game on, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.